the moves. Got some crazy moves.
He's the best running back all around in this league.
Run it again. Tell him run it again. Run it again.
Le'Veon Bell wasn't just any running back. He was a game changer, a player who made defenses lose sleep. But how did a kid from Ohio with no major college offers become one of the most feared players in the NFL? And how did everything fall apart so quickly? In this video, we're diving deep into the meteoric rise and sudden fall of Le'Veon Bell. Was he as good as everyone believed, or did his off-field decisions cost him his legacy? Stick around, because this is a story you won't want to miss. Born in Reynoldsburg, Ohio, Le'Veon Bell faced challenges from the start. Raised by a single mother in a tough environment, Bell learned early on that nothing would come easy. His mother worked multiple jobs to support Bell and his siblings, instilling in him the importance of hard work and perseverance. Despite his circumstances, football became his escape, and he quickly excelled at Groveport Madison High School. Football wasn't just a sport for Bell, it was a way out, a chance to give his family a better life. But his journey wasn't easy. The rough neighborhoods, combined with the pressures of being the man of the house at a young age, shaped Bell into a resilient and determined individual. Bell's childhood wasn't just about overcoming financial hardship. It was about surviving in an environment where distractions and temptations were everywhere. Despite these challenges, Bell's talent on the football field was undeniable. He was a multi-sport athlete, excelling in basketball and track, but football was where he truly shined. However, his path to success was filled with obstacles. Bell wasn't heavily recruited by major colleges, largely due to his size and lack of exposure. At just 5'11 inches and 230 pounds, Bell was a force on the field, but his lack of top-tier offers meant he would have to make a name for himself the hard way. Le'Veon Bell accepted a scholarship to Michigan State University, where he quickly made an impact. His freshman year was solid, but it was in his junior season that Bell truly broke out. Rushing for 1,793 yards and 12 touchdowns, Bell became a workhorse for the Spartans, carrying the ball an astonishing 382 times. His combination of patience, vision, and power made him a standout, but his unorthodox running style raised questions about how it would translate to the NFL. Bell's unique running style, often described as patient to the point of absurdity, puzzled defenders and analysts alike. He had this ability to wait behind the line of scrimmage, almost pausing, before exploding through a gap, which became his signature move. But it wasn't just his running that made him special. His ability to catch passes out of the backfield added a dimension to his game that made him a dual-threat nightmare for defenses. During his time at Michigan State, Bell demonstrated not only his physical abilities, but also his football IQ. He often made adjustments at the line of scrimmage, reading defenses and making the right cuts at the right time. His coaches praised his work ethic and his ability to learn quickly, traits that would serve him well in the NFL. Despite his success, Bell faced criticism for his running style, with some scouts concerned that his patient approach wouldn't work at the next level. Many believed that NFL defenses, with their speed and discipline, would quickly close the gaps that Bell exploited in college. However, Bell remained confident in his abilities, determined to prove the doubters wrong. Despite his impressive college stats, Bell was not a first-round pick. The Pittsburgh Steelers took a chance on him in the second round of the 2013 NFL Draft, selecting him with the 48th overall pick. Bell made an immediate impact, rushing for 860 yards and scoring 8 total touchdowns in just 13 games during his rookie season. However, his rookie year was not without its challenges. Bell missed the first 3 games of the season due to a foot injury, and there were concerns about his durability. Bell's arrival in Pittsburgh marked the beginning of a new era for the Steelers' offense. He was brought in to replace Rashard Mendenhall, and the expectations were high. Bell didn't disappoint, showcasing his versatility by contributing both in the running game and as a receiver. This was the year Bell became known for his patience and vision, often described as running like a video game character by fans and commentators. But beyond the statistics, what stood out about Bell was his ability to make something out of nothing. Even when the offensive line struggled, Bell's vision allowed him to find gaps and turn potential losses into positive yardage. His rookie season also highlighted his ability to protect the football, with Bell recording only 1 fumble in 289 touches. This ball security, combined with his productivity, made him an invaluable asset to the Steelers' offense. Le'Veon Bell's prime from 2014 to 2017 was nothing short of spectacular. During this period, he redefined the running back position with his patient, almost gliding running style, waiting for blocks to develop before hitting the hole. He was equally dangerous as a receiver, creating mismatches against linebackers and defensive backs. In 2014, he amassed over 2,200 total yards from scrimmage, earning first-team All-Pro honors. Bell followed that up with more dominant seasons, including 1,884 total yards in 2016, despite missing 3 games. But what really set Bell apart was his ability to play mind games with defenders. His patience behind the line was not just a physical tactic, but a mental one, causing defenders to hesitate, which is often fatal in a game that moves so quickly. Bell's style wasn't just unique, it was revolutionary. Coaches, players, and analysts began to study his approach, trying to understand how a running back could be so effective by seemingly slowing down the game. During these years, Bell became the focal point of the Steelers' offense, often being asked to carry the load in both the running and passing game. His ability to catch the ball out of the backfield made him a matchup nightmare for defenses. Linebackers were too slow to cover him, and defensive backs were too small to bring him down. This versatility not only made Bell one of the most productive players in the league, but also one of the most valuable. Bell's performances during this period also led to comparisons with some of the greatest running backs in NFL history. His combination of size, speed, vision, and hands made him a rare talent, and many began to wonder if he could eventually be considered one of the best to ever play the position. However, despite his success on the field, there were signs that not everything was perfect behind the scenes. Bell's career wasn't just about highlights and records. Off the field, he faced several challenges that began to shape public perception of him. In 2014, Bell was arrested for marijuana possession and DUI, an incident that led to a 2-game suspension in 2015. This was just the beginning of a series of off-field issues that would plague his career. Despite his undeniable talent, questions about his commitment and discipline began to surface. Bell was outspoken and confident, traits that endeared him to some but alienated others. He wanted to be paid like a top wide receiver, not just a running back, which led to a public contract dispute with the Steelers. Bell felt that his contributions to the team were being undervalued, and he wasn't afraid to voice his frustrations. This stance was polarizing. Some fans supported his desire for fair compensation, while others saw it as a distraction from the team's goals. Bell's off-field behavior also began to raise eyebrows. He was active on social media, often sharing his thoughts and opinions in a way that rubbed some people the wrong way. Whether it was calling out teammates, negotiating his contract in public, or simply expressing his frustration, Bell's social media presence became a focal point of discussion. Many wondered if his focus was shifting away from football and if his off-field antics were beginning to overshadow his on-field performance. Despite his success on the field, Bell's career took a controversial turn in 2018. Unhappy with being franchise tagged by the Steelers, Bell chose to sit out the entire season, forfeiting $14.5 million in the process. His decision sent shockwaves through the league, as it was almost unprecedented for a player of his caliber to sit out an entire year over a contract dispute. While Bell argued that he was preserving his body for the long term, The move raised questions about his priorities and commitment to the game. Bell's holdout became a major talking point in the NFL, with debates about player rights, the value of running backs, and whether or not he was making a smart business decision. In hindsight, this decision was a pivotal moment in his career, marking the beginning of a decline that he would struggle to reverse. Bell's decision was seen by many as a power move, a statement that players should have more control over their careers and earnings. However, the gamble didn't pay off the way Bell had hoped. The Steelers moved on without him, and James Conner, Bell's replacement, performed admirably in his absence. This further complicated Bell's situation, as it raised the question of whether the Steelers' success was due to Bell's talent or the system they had in place. Meanwhile, Bell continued to train and prepare for his eventual return to the NFL, but the year-long absence left many wondering if he would ever return to his previous form. In 2019, Bell signed a lucrative contract with the New York Jets, but the magic he had in Pittsburgh seemed to be gone. Behind a weaker offensive line and in a less dynamic offense, Bell struggled to produce the same numbers that made him a star. His first season with the Jets saw him rush for just 789 yards and 3 touchdowns, far below his previous standards. The following year, after continued struggles and clashes with the coaching staff, Bell was released by the Jets, marking the beginning of the end for his dominance in the NFL. Bell's time with the Jets was a stark contrast to his years with the Steelers, and it highlighted how much context, coaching, teammates, and team culture can impact a player's performance. After his release from the Jets, Bell had brief stints with the Kansas City Chiefs, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but he was never able to recapture the form that once made him one of the league's best. His time with the Chiefs included a trip to the Super Bowl, but Bell was a non-factor in the game, highlighting how far he had fallen from his days as one of the NFL's premier players. By this point, Bell's career had become a cautionary tale of what can happen when off-field decisions overshadow on-field talent. Le'Veon Bell's career is a tale of two halves: the explosive, game-changing back who dominated the league, and the player whose decisions off the field overshadowed his talents. His time with the Steelers will be remembered as one of the most impressive stretches for any running back in recent memory, but his post-Steelers career leaves much to be desired. It's hard not to wonder what might have been if Bell had stayed with the Steelers, or if his decisions had been different. Would he have gone down as one of the greatest of all time? Or was his peak always going to be short-lived? If you enjoyed this deep dive into Bell's career, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content on your favorite players. Let us know who you'd like us to cover next, and we'll see you in the next video.